Did you guys did everybody watch Dynamite?
Yeah,
Yes.
I did.
Okay. Let's think of well, WWE's still doing monster business, selling out arenas for TV. All the premium live events are doing great. AEW can't get out of its own way. They've got their biggest show ever. Go ahead.
I just want to hear the rating.
874.
What was it last week?
846. By the way, this is not related, but it's related to the show. Apparently there's heat and back and forth between Larry Dallas and Jose the Assistant on Twitter today. Have you seen any of this?
Oh, really? No. Yeah. Let's get to that. That's hot news. Let's look at this. So, Jose, that's our boy, Jose the Assistant.
Yeah, I was going to read him, but I'll just screen share it for you. Just give me a second.
All right. So let me I'll make a comment here. Yeah, they got one of the biggest wrestling shows in the history of the business, like for attendance wise, coming up, and everything is underwhelming going into it. And they've got a lot of drama now because of Punk again. And I'm wondering if, let's be very honest here, I wonder if Tony is having to deal too much with a lot of these issues because the shows have been kind of underwhelming, like from a writings, like Collision this past week was like, bro, that was like a Rampage card. You had a Brock Anderson versus something, bro. You have all this talent, and you still put on all these underwhelming matches, right? This show too, Dynamite, was kind of like, I don't know. This show, like, they're flat right now, even though they got their biggest show, one of the biggest shows ever. And it just is not like the matches on the show. It doesn't seem as important as it should be. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, but it's really weird because it says here, is that WrestleNomics? Is that thing that you always look at, Joe?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It says here, WrestleNomics has a Dynamite again finished first among cable originals in the 18 to 49 rating. So they're still, as underwhelming as the show is, they're still drawing.
Bro, I'm aware of that, but bro, there's still a lot of other shows that do way more total viewership than this show does on Wednesday nights, and they don't report that. Why
would they report this and not that?
Because it's a bad metric for them. That if you want to, do you think that there's a positive metric for them to report that Dr. Pimple Popper is doing twice as many viewers as they are?
Is that a comment on the show or a comment on the disgusting people in America that watch that show?
I don't know. It's for some reason there's twice as many people watching a doctor that pops pimples instead of watching AEW Dynamite. It should be the opposite of that. They should be doing 1.9 million total viewers, and the other show should be doing 800,000. A bunch of weirdos, Yeah. I don't know. Maybe the wrestling fans are the weirdos now, and the people that watch pimple popping are normal. I don't know. It gets very weird. So
that could be too. All right. What happened in this is Larry's posted about it on Facebook and Twitter, but Jose has deleted his tweets, so I can't show them to you. I have to read them.
Okay.
So this is Jose the Assistant responding to Larry Dallas.
How did it start?
Larry was posting about his commentary at AAA. I can't see it because it's cut off. But Jose responds, this is about Triple Mania. Both you guys need to study up and step your game. This is Jose the Assistant. Again, I'm saying. Both you guys need to study up and step your game up. Commentary was lacking enthusiasm and not up to par. I don't know if you were there live or not, but if you weren't, then they should bring you in so commentary feels more in the moment. I don't mean that in a bad way. Okay, so that's like passive aggressive,
Right.
Or saying no offense after you call somebody whatever.
Right.
So Larry says, are you really telling me I need to study up and step my game up? You know zero about me to give that type of advice publicly. Frankly, it's offensive and it shows your character. But one day I'm sure I'll be commentating a show when you're an entourage number 4 again, and we can talk.
Interesting.
And Larry says here,
good.
Comments like that, if they come from a place of good, you'd slide into the DMs, give advice, and I'd give you the respect of where you currently work and thank you and listen. But this way, you're way overstating your position based on who you're close with. I ain't the one. So then, Larry posted a DM between them. Should I read the DM or is that?
Yes.
All right. So
it's posted publicly, right?
Yeah. So Larry, in the DM, Jose hits up Larry and says, we both work in wrestling. I'm not higher than anyone. I wrote that comment while in an Uber in Nashville, and the DM thing didn't work. Your comment about Rush and Konnan and LA Park was spot on, and I shouldn't have publicly given advice that may sound bad or make you look bad. It's completely my mistake, and I own up to it, and I'm sorry for it. I feel like I should delete this to avoid more eyes on it. Sorry, Jose. And Jose wraps up, comments are deleted. Unlike journalists, I admit when I'm wrong and apologize. So a little back and forth there.
Jose the assistant. Where would you rank Jose assistant on the roster? Like from one to last?
Second from the bottom.
Behind Abraham, who's the other guy with the gloves, the white gloves?
No, he's over top of that annoying backstage interviewer. What's his name?
So guess what? AEW Dynamite opened up with. They went back to the well. Orange title match. Right. Yeah. So he wrestled Wheeler Yuta. Well, I got to give Wheeler Yuta credit, bro. He's put on some size. Have you noticed that?
And he looks better. And better. This is, right. And so this is what I wanted to say about Wheeler Yuta. They should have put. You want him? Orange Cassidy's over, right?
Right.
He's super over. You got to make new people. This would have been a great place to make Utah.
So afterwards, Orange Cassidy wins. Afterwards, Moxley and Cassidy only hit the ring and attack. But what is the deal? Okay, is the white? Bro, let me tell you something. The cheapest article of clothing that you could wear publicly is a white wife beater to make you look like you're just like, okay, if you want to start at like the bottom rung of income and the way you dress. The white wife beater is probably the starting point. It's the cheapest article of clothing they can wear. Like, okay, the next cheapest is the white T-shirt. Okay, bro, the amount of guys on this show that come out with a white T-shirt on, like Moxley's supposed to be one of their top guys. He comes out with a white T-shirt and jeans on. Like, but I'm telling you, these guys do not dress for work. They dress like slobs. The fans dress like slobs, so they don't care that the wrestlers dress like slobs. But bro, the channel surfer, these guys do not look like wrestling superstars. If you're watching the WWE and the way they present their characters, they present their characters very professionally. These guys just don't care, and they look like they don't care, And like so, Moxley comes out dressed like a bum. They have a very weak looking brawl. So this is great. They're 3-on-1. They're beating down Cassidy. Okay, and this is on the agents and everybody. A good minute goes by. Okay, and the Blackpool Combat Club. So they're at an angle with these guys and the best friends and everything. So finally, the best friends come out, and instead of coming out and running to the ring, they come out while their friend is getting beat up in the ring. They come out. They stop on the stage. They acknowledge the crowd. And they look around, and then they don't run. They kind of like two-step to the ring, like jog down the ring. Okay, they start brawling. Penta Phoenix and Alex Abrahantes come out. They start brawling. Then so now it's like 5-on-3. And then some reason the heels start getting the better of them. And Eddie Kingston comes out.
Okay,
and
I want you to just because I'm remembering something. How many run-ins are there in this match?
Like 4 separate run-ins. The Blackpool Combat Club ran in, then the Best Friends ran in, then Penta and Phoenix ran in, and then hang on a second. Pause this show.
Go back and tell you how Jose and Larry started, okay? Okay. This is interesting. It starts out with Roosh versus Nick Houseman. All right. So Nick Houseman reports that Roosh was adamant that 2 AEW stars be booked on Triple Mania. Now that would be Preston Vance and Jose the Assistant. Okay.
Is that accurate, Konnan?
What was it? I wasn't even really listening. What
was pressed? Well, actually, I think we commented on this in the Master Public or Lucha segment, actually. Right. But was Jose the Assistant and Preston Vance on the show because Roosh insisted they be on? Because that's what Nick Houseman is reporting.
I think so. I think that's what he put in some Twitter. He said they were there because I wanted them to be there.
No.
Okay.
You're the booker, Konnan. Is that true? What Roosh is saying? Because that's what Nick Houseman is reporting. Nick Houseman reporting that those 2 guys were on the show because Roosh wanted them there. Is that accurate?
Yeah, now
listen, he's going to tell you. Yeah. Well, he's going to tell you something. Yeah. Listen.
Okay.
Go ahead.
From Roosh Official, it says, Preston and Jose came out with me because I wanted them to. Dorian Roldan knew they would be there. He welcomed them once he saw them and even got them tickets for their guest. Your story is wrong. Retract it. So Nick, of course, was framing it like Roosh brought them and AAA didn't want them. Roosh is saying the opposite. I brought them, but AAA was cool with them. Okay. So from there, there's Houseman says, if Dorian knew they were coming and would be involved in the match, that's not something that was let known to many people in AAA that were in and around the match until the day of the show. Now Larry responds, no one else in AAA had any part in that match or what went down. Roosh is telling the truth. Anyone saying they didn't know is also true, as it was just the 4 luchadors and Dorian involved in the main event. I didn't know his English commentator for the same reason. So then I think Jose insulted the commentary, but the tweet is deleted. And that's when Larry says, that was me. I wasn't expecting you guys. I knew your names. And after that is when Jose said, you should step up your game or whatever. Okay. So now,
let me ask, I'm going to ask go one step further here. Konnan, are you Nick Hausman's source?
Yes.
Aha. So it says, wait a minute. So how does Nick Hausman have the story wrong here?
Bro, let me tell you something. Everybody thinks that I tell Dave stuff, right? And yeah, there's stuff that Dave asked me. He's like, hey, how many people were there? Did this happen? Did this not happen?
Right, just facts.
He gets a lot of information. I don't know where, and I'm not going to ask him. Lucha blog, I don't know where they get their information. I don't know where Nick Hausman's getting his information. I don't know where people get their information. The only person that I have ever talked to is really Dave. That's it.
All right. So, okay, so let's go back to the brawl. They're having a typical AEW brawl, which is very poor-looking fighting. Eddie Kingston comes out as met by Cassione. They fought to the ring. Kingston joined the Lucha Brothers and best friends in clearing the BCC from the ring. It's funny, the babyfaces had them outnumbered here 5-3. Okay, so Kingston got on the mic and challenged the BCC and whoever you can find to face him and the other babyfaces mean a Stadium Stampede match at All In at Wembley Stadium. And Sharvani said, Stadium Stampede is the most unpredictable match ever. What did you think of this segment?
Too many moving parts. You know what I'm saying? The brawling wasn't good. And I want to get back to your white T-shirt comment. So what I've noticed, because in Mexico, you see a lot of guys just with white T-shirts and jeans. My little brother, he's always in white T-shirts and jeans. I think it's a very comfortable, fresh look, and you look really clean. And that seems to be something, but that's not something like a star would wear, unless you wear a cool hat with it or something like that. But everybody wearing the same thing. I like how they dress on WWE. Like super.
I'll give it a perfect point.
Jericho dresses good. I do like
he dresses like a rock star.
Right. I like I'm a big fan of the click 2 times to go back to Kansas boots that he wears. Those are very nice.
I used to like the way that Alberto Del Rio used to dress. Always dressed to the nines, looked like a pretty good bro. Why can't I just don't get it. Bro, like some of these guys, like your stars, go get yourself a nice pair of Boss slacks. They're not too expensive, but they look nice. Go get yourself a nice Versace shirt, bro. Look, it's not super expensive. When you guys come out and you're wearing white tee, just dressing like bums, you don't look like you're making a lot of money, which is letting me to believe why are these stars? They don't look like stars. The eye test is very important. Like, it just disappoints me when I see these people dress like bums every week.
I think 2 things. Number one, nobody doesn't think anybody in WWE isn't making any money. So I would refute that. And number two,
WWE is different though. They dress nice. WWE the guys dress nice.
AEW. Oh, you're talking about AEW, right? Yeah.
Okay, so this is okay. Let me tell you, this is very weird. So they aired a video from yesterday of Jim Ross interviewing Kenny Omega in an empty venue. And bro, Kenny Omega's supposed to be one of their top stars, right? What's the longest amount of minutes in promo time you've ever seen this guy do in a row? As far as you can remember.
Like 8 to 10?
When?
Maybe?
When did he do an 8 to 10 minute promo?
It was prior to
how long ago is this?
Oh, it was back before he was injured.
Okay. Bro, this guy needs a lot more than just 1 minute of verbiage. I mean, he's on TV every week, and he's not saying anything of substance because doesn't have any time to really say anything. He's just very generic, very plain. So then, what's his name? The heels show up and they beat him up. The JY Juice Robinson and Takeshita and Don Callis, and they all beat him up. Bro,
are they part of his family now? When did they join?
Well, I don't know because they're building up for the big match. They already announced that match. Right, the 6-man. So that's why Jay White and Juice Robinson came out. Right. So, but I will say this, bro. Did you notice this was so overproduced? This is a 3-camera shoot with a lot of very quick edits, even in the sit-down interview. Did you notice this?
Here's the thing,
Joe, pull this segment up. I want to show you, Konnan, how this was shot. This is sit-down interview. You got to watch all the edits, the cuts, and camera cuts and stuff. Everything. It's hysterical. Joe, pull this up and try and find.
I'm opening it now.
Cody, you'll kind of pop because I was noticing it's
I did see it.
Yeah,
I did see the segment. I didn't notice what you're talking about.
I noticed it, but you'll notice it too now that I've told you. You'll kind of laugh at it a little. So basically, what's his name got beat up. Okay.
What do you think of this segment?
I couldn't get him. Bro. Every angle they have is just the heels attacking the baby faces. Like
what
that.
Do you
That's
think of this, Joe?
It was okay. I mean, they're building for the pay-per-view, and that works for me. So,
what did you think, Konnan?
Let
me get back.
I don't know.
All right, okay, let's watch this.
Well, I have to get to it. I mean, I have it open.
Okay, yeah, get to it. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Konnan, so then they said that was earlier in the day. Okay, so then he got the ambulance took it to the hospital.
Okay, wait. Did you see that guy standing there, Hangman Page?
Yeah, that's what I'm getting to. Let me read this, okay?
Okay.
So Hangman Page stood in front of the ambulance with a beer in his hand. Said, if you're going to start a beatdown, you need to finish it. And Page said he was outside of a hospital. Omega was inside. Page said Omega wouldn't be alone at All In. He said the he, Omega, and Kota Ibushi would finish the beatdown that the heel started. Then a man showed up and told Page that he couldn't drink on hospital grounds, and Page slammed his beer and handed it back to the man.
Okay, let me tell you the first thing that stuck out to me, all right?
All right.
Bro, that did not look like a hospital.
Joe, you've gone past the segment. Joe, you've gone past the segment.
Okay.
Way past.
So it's after Jericho?
It's literally right after. No, I'm reading the show. Okay, it's after the what you call it, the Blackpool Combat Club.
Okay.
Okay.
Didn't you watch the show, Joe?
Yeah, I missed the Omega thing.
The sit down? That?
Yeah.
Bro, it wasn't long. It's very easy to miss. You could go to the bathroom and you miss it. Okay, let's watch this and then talk about it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Kenny Omega at Daly's Place about his plans for All In London.
We're in the building, Daly's Place, Jacksonville, where you, alongside Don Callis, won your first AEW title. Over the last several weeks, we've seen really what Don Callis is all about. How can you even consider doing business with a guy like that?
Uncle Don was just a friend of my real uncle, Uncle Larry, the Golden Sheik. And whether it be Christmas dinner, Easter dinner, Thanksgiving dinner, my birthday, he was there, always there. Now that I look back, it was really an odd childhood. I didn't have friends. Don doesn't like people. He doesn't like friends. I wasn't able to have after-school parties. I wasn't able to have summer vacations. My summer vacations were summer hockey. Don gave me my first weight set, my first tub of protein, vials of things. I didn't even know the words. He would say, take your vitamins, because I was bringing home first place medals, first place ribbons, first place trophies. I was getting college scholarships. In a way, the way that he guided me made me the best athlete that I could be. And I try every day, Jim, to remember that version of Don.
Uncle Don is the guy that stabbed you in the head with a screwdriver.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like you're trying to justify his existence in your life.
You can choose your friends. You can choose, the people that you're with, but you can't choose your family. And I thought, he's still my uncle. And I found myself trying to justify what this guy has done. I'm trying to find reasons not to make my entire existence one of revenge. I just want to
press pause.
I don't want him to get into my head. I don't.
This is a sit-down interview. How many camera edit cuts have we had so far?
A lot. Way too many.
A dozen.
Yeah. and it makes it choppy.
Why?
Like it's not like I don't know. Maybe this was edited down and condensed to like a longer interview. But this is like, I know. If you notice, it's like kind of funny that they shot it this way, right? Keep going. This is actually funny.
Want this to be all about Don and the people that he chooses to be part of his family.
Speaking of that, it sounds like he's replaced you in that lineup.
Thing is, Takeshi and I actually go back, and I saw a lot of myself in him when I was in DDT in Japan. And I thought, this is the kind of guy that you want to guide in the right way. He made sure that when he decided to upgrade from Kenny Omega, someone younger, stronger, faster, that it was someone that would hurt here. As the god of pro wrestling, your words, by the way, not mine. I have the power to giveth, I have the power to taketh away. And Don, this new cash cow of yours that you think means the world to you, I'm going to take him away. I'm going to embarrass you in the same way.
Whoa, JR, I didn't know that you were a psychotherapist now. And if you're dealing with this guy, you better get some more TV time. He's got so many insecurities, you might need a 3-hour special. Huh?
Look, that's enough. They go to the beatdown, but it's like really they shoot this thing with like 3 cameras and like edit. It's like Moulin Rouge. If you watch Moulin Rouge, it won an Academy Award, but like every camera shot was like 2 seconds. Boom, boom. It's like all over the place. I'm like, that was completely. It made Kenny sound choppy when he was speaking. You know, like it wasn't really an organic conversation and stuff. I don't know why they shot it like that. That was. It's like,
I
I
did like the insinuation that Don was giving him illegal substances to help him grow. That was kind of funny.
Yeah. So Konnan, what's your take on all this? Give us the comments.
I don't know. I like Kenny. I like Don. This was a little underwhelming to me. The beatdown wasn't that spectacular. I like real good beatdowns that look good. You know what I'm saying? This looked like a wrestling beatdown, which I've seen. You know what I'm saying? I've just watched too much wrestling, and I want to see a good beatdown. Yeah.
The next is they go to the ring now, and Don Callis in the ring and introduced Jericho. Callis told Jericho he's sorry about what happened last week. He said the members of Jericho Appreciation Army realized that he should change a few things, and Jericho told Callis he doesn't join factions, he creates them. Jericho then said his answer is yes. Jericho said the JAS members walking out of him made him realize that he needs to go back to his roots, and he said he need to be aligned with the man who's just as low as he is. He spoke about regaining the AEW Championship. Callis hugged Jericho, and Callis said they didn't need to waste more time on the roofs. He said they could go drink Broadway dry. Then Callis had a painting in the ring, by the way, that was covered by a cloth. So you didn't know what it was. And Jericho stopped Callis and pointed out a covered painting that was set up in a corner of the ring. Callis tried to talk him out of unveiling the picture. Jericho uncovered the painting, which showed Callis holding Jericho's head in his hand. Then Jericho asked if Callis thought he was going to say no. Then Jericho asked if Callis is going to have him assassinated or beheaded.
People pop for that.
Callis said it was embarrassing for him because the artist screwed it up. And the Jericho said he's known Callis since 1989. He knows when he was lying. Jericho called him a scumbag lowlife and told Callis to be honest with him for the first time in his life. And Callis said Jericho was right. He didn't think Jericho would say yes. And he said he thought Jericho would say no due to his massive ego. Callis said it's always been all about Jericho, and thus he assured Jericho would make a stupid decision. Callis said a business full of egomaniacs, Jericho is the greatest. And Callis said Jericho doesn't deserve to be part of his family. Jericho asked who the hell Callis is, and Jericho said Callis wasn't in the business 3 years ago and no one cared. Jericho said Callis in AEW because of him, and now at his peak, and yet compared to him, nobody cares. Jericho said Callis had no friends and messed up every personal relationship he's ever had in his life, and Jericho called Callis. Callis slapped Jericho across the face. Good slap, by the way. You always have to have a good slap in this business. Jericho grabbed Callis by the collars and pushed him back in the corner, and Takeshita showed up with a chair, but Jericho saw him and cut him off. Then Will Ospreay showed up, dressed for work, with a pair of gray sweats on and stuff, and attacked Jericho. Then Ospreay got a chair and hit Jericho with it. Jericho bled from the forehead, and Ospreay and Takeshita held up Jericho. Then Don Callis took the painting and slammed it over Jericho's head. Then Sammy Guevara, the only guy that said he would not abandon Jericho, came out with a baseball bat, causing Ospreay, Callis, and Takeshita all to exit. And Jericho was left bloody in the ring. What did you think of this?
Well, it was good because Jericho and Callis are good. Sammy got cheered for the first time in a long time. I just thought it was a little weird that, Callis wouldn't have a second painting, or, why was he so sure that, didn't he ever think, what if Jericho says yes and he wants to see the painting? That was the only thing. That's just a slight thing, just me being anal.
So Darby Allin and Nick Wayne at a combined weight of like 300 pounds wrestled the Gates of Agony, Bishop Calhoun, and Toa Leona, right? At the combined weight of probably like 575 pounds.
What's their name? They have a kind of joke.
Gates of Agony.
Yeah.
Hey, well, they were the ones agonizing.
They never win.
They had to do the job to these two little guys, which happens all the time. So then after the match, they do a thing where Sting appeared on. So this is weird. So instead of like Sting interrupting like a beatdown or anything, the Sting appeared on the screen after the match, and it stopped Swerve and Fox from heading to the ring. Then Sting spoke about how he's making moves and got fired about the coffin match in front of 80,000 people in England. Then Sting introduced the leading man of his movie, which was the terrified Prince Nana. And Sting went further into the Joker Sting by saying it was showtime. Sting let Nana leave and sang the Nana Na Hey 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 Goodbye song. What did you think of this segment? And does this make you excited about the match coming up this at all?
No, nobody cares about Nana. There's who gives a and Sting was doing the old Showtime Sting that he used to do when he had kind of like the Joker. You know what I'm saying?
Swerve and AR Fox need to get away from these guys and just be just the two of them.
Right.
They have no. Nana's like a jabroni. They're letting these guys get beat by Nick Wayne and Darby, like 250-pound kids and stuff. So they suck. You know, so
Right.
bro, Swerve and AR Fox have a good look.
Cage doesn't look like he belongs there either.
Right.
It's like,
They should just Swerve and AR Fox should do their own thing. They look
Right.
good together, you know?
Right.
So then they showed a video with MJF standing in front of a steakhouse, and Adam Cole showed up and asked what they were doing there. MJF spoke about facing Aussie Open at the pre-show and said they had to get inside their heads. So they're going to eat at Outback Steakhouse, which is one of the go-to places for professional wrestler dining. Would you agree with that, Konnan?
Yep.
I've always had, and this is back. Let me tell you, like, hey, I don't know how it is today, but back in the day when in the mid to late '90s, a lot of carbs was like a thing. People like rice, pancakes, potatoes, street stuff. So Outback Steakhouse was always like the go-to meal: steak and rice, or steak and sweet potato, or steak and sweet potato and broccoli and salad, and the bread. The bread was delicious. So we always used to eat it at Outback Steak. So clips showed the duo eating, and MJF was all excited about the blooming onion, and then Cole slapped him to calm him down. They cut to the duo backstage at the arena, and Cole showed off a Crocodile Dundee DVD. MJF showed him footage of a kangaroo fight and said that's how they'd win, and MJF showed Cole the kangaroo kick, and they cut to the two of them wearing safari hats and peeking through the production crates while someone flipped out over an inflatable crocodile and other items. Cole and MJF hit the guy with a double clothesline. Then a voice called for Cole and MJF to go to the office. A shot aired of Tony Khan's office door, and he was yelling at the duo about keeping the double clothesline in the ring. MJF and Cole exited the room, and MJF seemed to make Khan regret that in 2024. Khan exited the room wearing shades and asked MJF what he just said, and MJF buddied up to Khan. Then MJF and Adam Cole arrived in MJF's sports car. MJF told Cole that MJF told Cole he had to take a and rushed out of the picture. Then Cole looked into the camera and said they would see viewers after the break. Then Roderick Strong, Matt Taven, and Mike Bennett entered the picture, and Strong kicked MJF's car in the tire and acted like he hurt his foot. Okay, Konnan, what are your comments on this? This is mind you, these are the top two main event guys on the show. Okay, trying to sell a match for the pre-show against two Ring of Honor guys. Did this make you excited for that match?
No, it's not supposed to. It's like comedy. Oh, look, the guys get along. They're funny, and until somebody turns on the other guy. But, I didn't find any of the Outback stuff funny. And, but I will put over his Ferrari with the better than you license plate.
Right. Let me make a comment here. Okay. And because MJF and Cole are very entertaining, okay,
right.
on the mic, right? Bro, this is to me just the exact same stuff as the old Street Profits versus the Viking Raiders gimmicks. Corny gimmick, but these guys are funnier than them. Okay, right. so like done in this tone, this corny stuff is actually entertaining. But bro, this is mid-card stuff. This is like mid-card comedy stuff. It's like this is not. And the thing is, bro, they already have the tickets sold. That's why I think they're doing stuff like this, just for entertainment. Because, bro, this is not selling anything. This is just a comedy segment of the two guys performing comedy in the middle of the show, and they turn chicken salad out of. So it's like that. I don't know. This is not like you said. It's not making me. All this is doing is making me interested in not having them wrestle each other. I'd rather them just be together, be attacking, and doing it right. Do you get that same vibe?
I think that's what they're doing. They want you to be happy. They want when the other one turns, man, I like these guys so much. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think that's because the fans are going to react like that. I think they're just going to boo. It's like, well, we like them together.
Do you think they're so long and it's like
they're gonna boo the heel. That's what I'm getting at.
I don't think they are. I think they're going to boo the angle. I think they're going to boo the angle.
Well, we'll
I'm going to plant my flag on that. I think the fans are going to shit on them turning on each other because they would rather see these guys together doing corny like this. It is what it is, but it's like, bro, you're trying to sell a match against these two competing against each other, and this is not. None of this any booker would write this story like this. This is like booking two guys that are going to be fighting for the tag team titles and hopefully win them. Is what this storyline looks like, So I don't know. I just think it's very weird. It's entertaining, but it's missing a perfect description. This misses the plot. It's like you wrote a good story, but you missed the plot.
Konnan, you got a split, right?
Oh, 3:30, Joe.
No, 3:30.
I swear you said 3. Okay.
No, yesterday was 3:30.
Okay.
So
well,
next
let me say real quick and see what you guys think. Basically everyone's assuming MJF's going to turn, right? Are they just around and it's going to be Cole and that'll be the shock value?
No. Let's get. No. I got to read this and then we'll ask this question.
Oh yeah. Okay. Got it.
All right. Cool. All right. So because this was another, bro. Okay. I'm going to call this guy Will Washington now. Okay. He's supposed to be the quality control guy that like to make sure that all the storylines are congruent and stuff and all that, right? But I'm going to point out something that happened on this show that Konnan, I'm sure, noticed too when we'll talk about it, right? So MJF and Cole now after all that comedy, which could have actually been the only thing on the show, now they come out in front of the live crowd to do a promo.
Right.
Cole changed the focus, talked about their AEW World Title match, and Cole said it was the most important match of his life. He spoke about how he didn't know if he would ever be able to wrestle again. Now he's in the main event of the biggest pro wrestling event of all time. Cole said he's doing it with one of his best friends, and he said he's been at the top of every company he's worked for and has had record-breaking title reigns. Cole said he would solidify his place in AEW by winning the match, and Cole told MJF that he will do anything and everything to win the AEW World Title. MJF said Cole told a great story, but his was better. MJF asked the crowd who was ready for story time with MJF, baby, and MJF recalled being asked to write down his dream opponents on his first day of pro wrestling school. MJF said he wrote down the names of Cody Rhodes and Adam Cole. I highly doubt that. MJF spoke about putting 90,000 miles on his new truck because he busted his to make a name for himself in the independent circuit, and MJF recalled hearing about the original All-In event. MJF said he shot his shot by reaching out to Cody Rhodes and telling him he wouldn't disappoint if he gave him a shot. MJF said weeks went by, but Cody eventually replied, "Kid, you're all in." MJF said he got to open a show that he had no business being on. He said he lost the match, but he turned some important heads, including that of Tony Khan, who offered him a contract to join AEW. MJF said that if there was no All-In, there would be no MJF, and MJF said he scratched and clawed his way up the AEW undercard and became a generational talent, the devil himself, one of the best to have done it, the AEW World Champion. The crowd started chanting his name. MJF said he would be on another All-In and would be main eventing a show in front of the biggest crowd in the history of the sport, and MJF spoke about how much it meant for him to be doing it with his best friend. However, it doesn't mean everything to me, MJF said. He removed his title belt, says the only thing that means everything to him. So the belt symbolizes everything done and sacrificed to get. Then he looked Cole in the eyes and said if he thinks Cole is going to lie down just because of your buds, he's out of his mind. MJF said a win at Wembley would make him legendary, and MJF said nobody's on the level of the devil. Then Cole said, may the best man win. MJF said he had a feeling that the best man would win because my name is Maxwell Jacob Friesman and I'm better than you, and you know it. Then Cole got the crowd to do the Adam Cole Bebe line, and MJF and Cole buddied up. Then the Aussie Open guys attacked them, and they were able to fight them off. They went for double clothesline on Davis, but he held the ropes. They went for the kangaroo kick on Fletcher, but Davis pulled Fletcher from the ring. Then MJF held up his title belt while looking at the Aussie Open duo on stage. So while he's facing the stage, Cole is crouched behind him like he's going to give him a move, like he's going to attack him. But then he stood up when MJF turned back towards him, and they teased leaving and stopped, and they hugged. Then Roderick Strong was seated in a chair, this is ridiculous. Icing his foot while watching everything play out on a monitor. Matt Taven and Mike Bennett stood behind him. What did you think of this?
You just went over the Jarrett one, right?
No, I went over the MJF Cole interview.
Continuing
in ring. Yeah, well, bro, the guy's mega over. He was getting over stupid. Like, what were they chanting at one point?
Kangaroo kick.
Yeah, kangaroo kick, bro. The guy's mega over. He's got him in the palm of his hands. You know, this got over to the fans. They're both over. They can say whatever they want, and they're entertaining. I wasn't a big fan of their vignettes, but the in-ring was good. Like you said, it's going to be hard, first of all, they're on the pre-show, which obviously they're probably doing it to get more eyes on the product as a team, and then they're later against each other, which is unique, but hopefully somebody's going to turn heel there, and I think that's the guy that's going to get the heat and not the angle itself like you suggest, but we'll see. Yeah.
So bloody Chris Jericho, who for some reason didn't wipe the blood off his head by this time, it's been an hour. He's been treated by a trainer when Renee Paquette asked about Will Ospreay getting involved in the attack. Then Jericho said Ospreay didn't have to attack him to get his match. He said it would have happened if the Tokyo Dome had it not been for the pandemic. Then Jericho said Ospreay hasn't faced anyone with the experience and international presence he has, and said he knows Ospreay has mental problems. Does he have mental problems? Is that a thing?
What Gen Z doesn't? Nothing.
Yeah, he said he would get inside his head and then beat him down in front of his friends and family at Wembley.
Right.
Decent problem, but that's silly that he doesn't wipe the blood off. It's like it's all dried and it's like fake looking. I don't know.
Well, he did lick it off.
Yeah. So next is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre death match because they're promoting. I guess they got $100,000 for the promotion of this. I don't even know what to say here. This was just a comical brawl.
Okay, give me this then, both of you guys. You're working for a company. You're on the creative team. Somebody comes to you and says, "Look, they gave us $100,000. We have to integrate this into our show. We have to use the actual character with a chainsaw somewhere." What do? Where do you put him? Something backstage and goofy? Why would you use him in a? I wouldn't use him outside a lot.
Joe,
you know
let me. Okay, on a show that had the vignettes that they've had on this show that were as goofy and corny as they had been, this absolutely fit on the show.
You think?
Like this would not fit on a serious show.
But we're aware that's a fictional character. That's
Joe,
not real.
Joe, the show, everything that MJF and what's his name is doing isn't looked at as real. It's phony comedy. It's like a Saturday Night Live skit. This was like a Saturday Night Live skit. It was just comedic, bloody, goofy brawl with
no, I don't mean
Leatherface
the brawl.
came out with
I mean bringing Leatherface out. That's what I mean.
Right, bringing Leatherface out. Like he had the chainsaws. Yeah. It was absurd. But Jeff Jarrett, I texted. What remember my text to Double J?
Focus on the chainsaw.
No. Here's Konnan. Would you want to hear my text to Double J?
Yes.
Okay. Definitely one of the best Texas Chainsaw Massacre death matches I've ever seen. You got the Texas Chainsaw Massacre strap. So he responded like, if you could only know the comments, Strizat baby, the champ. We put the exclamation point. So Jericho's Double J is very excited about winning the Texas Chainsaw Massacre title. And they had a belt. They literally had a belt for this. Okay, it's hysterical. What you think of this, Konnan? Oh, here was the funniest part. Let me tell you the funniest part of this.
Right.
Steve, did you watch any of the picture-in-a-picture during this?
Probably. You'd have to remind me exactly what.
So they did a spot where they're like in the picture they had this big reveal scene where like these doors opened up and a figure came out with like a cowboy hat, like it's like Tombstone, like he's coming out, like it's a big like reveal, like like you could hear like the Good, Bad, the Ugly music playing in the background, if it was right, and it was, bro. I couldn't even see who it was because it was picture to picture. Like this is a spot that should have been on the live show because but they did picture to picture, and I didn't know who it was till about a few minutes later. It was Sanjay. Because I couldn't really see because it was picture to picture.
Yeah, it was. And it was small and it was a little dark too.
Right, exactly. So I was like, I don't know. It's funny. So next is really nothing to say about that. It was a commercial for Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but Jarrett went over because it was just ridiculous. So Britt Baker. Okay, so the bunny comes out with Penelope Ford, Kip Sabian, the Butcher, and the Blade. Joe, see if you could pull up their ring entrance. I want you to watch the bunny and Penelope Ford's ring entrance, Joe. Try and find this.
Yep.
Okay, because these are two. Bunny's pretty hot. Penelope is really hot. Okay.
Yeah, Bunny doing the crazy face thing.
Like she looks like she's like mentally like unwell or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So they. Did you find it yet, Joe?
I'm on it. I just gotta go forward and get it.
All right. So they have a match. Bunny's very green. And Britt just goes over her in 7 minutes. And I don't. But there's a 4-way match for the title coming up. This did nothing to further any storylines or anything. It just gave Britt Baker a win on TV. It's a qualifier.
Ish.
Oh, that's what it was. It was a qualifier for one of those matches. So whatever. So there was no doubt who's going to win this. Do you have it yet, Joe?
We're getting there. Okay. Wait. A little bit more. There we go.
All right. Play the entrance. Watch when these girls get in the ring.
And her opponent from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, Bunny.
The Bunny along with Penelope Ford, the Butcher, the Blade, and Kip Sabian. Bunny and Britt Baker at one point in their lives, Tony, they were friends. They were close friends. Since then, they've obviously gone very separate ways, though.
Watch Penelope Ford here.
Very healthy professional respect amongst one another.
I don't think there's any question they have respect for one another, but Bunny has certainly.
Coda, have you ever seen a more underwhelming ring entrance?
Yeah, by the other girl, yeah. Nia Jax.
Kind of rolled her eyes at the end.
Like these girls, like these green girls, got to learn how to get over. It's like you've got camera time here. Do something accentuate yourself, try and steal the scene. It's like don't just come out and stand in the middle of the ring with your arms at your sides and like you couldn't care less to be there, you know? So
right.
Which is what it looked like, unfortunately. Wait, hang on a minute. Here we go. Okay, so next is footage recap, Billy Gunn leaving his boots in the ring, and then of Max Caster and Anthony Bowens being sad about it. Which literally they cut to a thing and they cut like a 15-second promo about it. Like no lie. So then they come out, they make their entrance, and they're going to be wrestling against. There were two bums in the like. I was wondering like why are they having this match? Just like there was this, So then the lights went off, and they come back on, and Malachi Black and Brody King and Buddy Matthews are in there, and they beat them up. And what's his name used a chain as a weapon, and Brody King had the chain on his arms and did the gimmick like he was punching the guy in the head, and he literally missed him probably by a good foot and a half on the punch. And the guy sold it anyway. And they were bleeding, and Brody King was going hoof hoof, like barking like this. Right, was, like and then it went on wait. Then they didn't get out fast enough. They just stayed on this too long, where all the guys were just standing around in the ring and with the guys selling, and like it went a good 20 seconds way too long here, right?
Is this the punch? Is this the punch?
Let me see.
Is he going to lift him up and hit him after this, or is it the guy that's already down?
No, does he have the chain on his arm yet?
Not yet.
Okay, Brody King. Well, watch Brody King here. He's going to have to put a chain on his arm. Fast forward a minute. Well, there's so much blood on this show that it doesn't really come across like it needs.
There's no heat.
Right. Yeah. Right. And there wasn't any heat for this. Like in the arena, there was like literally no heat for this. Oh, and by the way, that was he just did a foot stomp on him, right? That was actually the finish of the match right before this was the foot stomp, the curb stomp. Okay. Now you missed it, Joe.
I was gonna say, where's the chain? Okay, he's got it around his neck. Okay, here he goes.
Okay, here he goes. All right. He actually hits him with the under part of his forearm here, I think.
Oh yeah, it's like his elbow almost.
Yeah. He missed him by I don't know. You would, whatever. But then he starts barking like a dog, whatever.
But he is a great Burt Metal singer, as we saw in the Juicy Seal a couple weeks ago.
Okay, so next is that was the end of that segment. So then we did the Young Bucks against Austin Gunn and Colton Gunn, and basically the Young Bucks beat them. Bro, Austin Gunn, the Guns are good workers. Like if anybody ever says like these guys they're pretty good, right? So after this, they do a deal where Jay White and Juice Robinson come out and they join the Guns in a post-match beatdown. And they're putting Matt's arm in a chair. Then FTR comes out and they clear the ring. And Konnan, did you notice? Are you paying attention, Konnan?
Yeah.
Okay. They did the exact same spot with the FTR and the Young Bucks, where the Young Bucks had their backs turned to FTR, that they did with Adam Cole and MJF, where they're teasing like they're gonna that. Bro, they did the exact same angle on two. This is what they did. This is okay, and this is if you're the quality control guy, like Will Watch is supposed to be. This is the stuff you're supposed to notice. The beatdown before, they did the curb stomp on one of the guys, which was actually the finish of the match right before the segment. Okay. And they did literally the same angle where the guy's teasing, they got their back turned. They did the exact same angle on two of the top angles. They did the exact same gimmick for each angle. If you're quality control, you guys sit there and say, well, we're doing the exact, that we're already doing that. Like this is one part of yourself for this angle. We're using the exact same angle to sell another match. What did you think about that, Konnan? Do you agree, or am I being too nitpicky here?
No, I agree.
Okay. All right. So that's been our what did you think of the show, by the way? It's underwhelming to me.
If I had to give it a grade, I'd give it a C. Not good, not bad.
That's been our AEW review.